What is going on YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Random, and I'm about to tell you the coolest Crown Victoria story that you probably never heard. And like most great stories, this one ends in tragedy. This is the story of the 1999 Roush Cobra Crown Victoria, also known as the unicorn of the Ford Crown Victoria, period. There is none other. In today's video, we're actually going to learn a lot about the mysterious Roush Cobra Crown Vic, and I'm actually going to show you guys never before seen footage of the actual car. There's probably only one or two of these videos in existence, so hang on to your pants because we're about to learn about the coolest fucking Ford Crown Victoria that could have been but never was. Well, at least there was 18 of them, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Now, reading the video title, you may be thinking, what the hell is a Cobra Vic? Well, that's a good question. The answer is maybe the coolest Crown Victoria ever made. And like I said earlier, only 18 exist. They were actually built by Roush specifically for Bob Bondurant School of High Performance Driving in Chandler, Arizona. At the time, Ford actually supplied all the vehicles for the school, and students usually drove Roush prepared Mustangs. The instructors, though, needing cars that could actually carry up to 3 passengers while demonstrating on-track techniques, they ended up driving Ford Taurus shows. But around 1998, the shows were getting tired, and Bob Bondurant actually went to Ford and Roush to discuss other options. And among the list of desired criteria were 4 doors, room for 4 adults, and a manual transmission. Now, the reason they wanted a manual transmission was so they can actually demonstrate heel-to-toe downshifting techniques. And thus, the birthing process of the Roush Cobra Vic officially began. Now, Roush performed the swap and prepped the cars for track duty. Some of the actual performance parts that they added to the Cobra Vic was installing a radiator from a freaking F-250 and a pulley-driven clutch fan for specifically like really hot days. They also installed a Cobra R oil cooler, modified exhaust down tubes. Get this though, they removed the cats. It also had iBox springs, Monroe shocks, performance friction brake pads, stainless brake lines, Cobra wheels and tires, 373 gears in the Crown Vic's freaking stock 8.8-inch rear axle, people, and a fuel-safe fuel cell in the trunk. Also a fire suppression system just in case, and a 6-point roll cage. Now we're just gonna go ahead and dive a little bit deeper, just a little bit deeper into the actual specs of the legendary freaking Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, Area 51 status, never heard of before, Roush Cobra Crown Victoria. Now, to start things off, it had a stock Mustang Cobra dual overhead cam 4.6 liter engine, and the battery was actually moved to the trunk, and the coolant reservoir from a freaking 93 Crown Vic was installed. This thing is just getting Frankenstein like crazy. Now, the Cobra engines were rated at around 320 horsepower compared to the Crown Vics at the time. Remember, this is 1999, which came with about 230 horsepower. Now, moving on to the transmission, they actually ended up going with a T45 5-speed manual. And just because a freaking Cobra powered 5-speed manual Crown Vic wasn't cool enough, Roush actually rebuilt each transmission with carbon fiber synchronizer blocker rings. They also grafted a clutch pedal onto the Crown Vic stock brake pedal assembly and ran the clutch cable through the firewall, just like a Mustang. The kind of shifter they actually used was a B&M Ripper shifter that's usually used for Mustangs. Now moving on to the tires, those skinny steel wheels, skinny, and I'm using air quotes here, that the actual Crown Vic Police Interceptor came with, they were replaced with a set of 17x9 1995 Cobra R wheels. Roush also installed 3-inch long wheel studs because the wheels needed 3/4-inch spacers in the front and 1/2-inch spacers in the rear to achieve the correct back spacing. And as you guys revel in the glory of probably one of the least seen of the Panther family right here, the Roush Cobra Crown Vic, just keep in mind that only 18 of them were ever built. Now, the only other place you can ever really see one of these, I mean, this is probably rare. You have a bigger chance of seeing an R31, 32, 33, 34 Skyline with the ghost of Paul Walker driving it, being towed by like a brand new Ford GT or something like that, than actually seeing one of these Crown Vics. But if you do want to see one and you're really that desperate to see one, all you got to do is head to the Bob Bondurant School, his driving school. He actually does have one on display at the school. So if you guys enjoyed this brief little history in Panther historiology, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, man. If you knew about this Crown Vic, let me know in the comment section down below. If you had no idea this thing existed until today, well, let me know as well. Hope you enjoyed whatever small amount of pictures I could scrounge up in that one very, very obscure video that I was able to bring up. Either way, it's your boy Mr. Random. Take it easy.